Denims haters can't help but insult Nick Shirley. So, an OnlyFans whore mocking mentally disabled people in 2026. I didn't even say that. So Nick Shirley, I don't know how many of you guys saw this. He was like, he went to Cuba, and then Cuba, I guess, took some of his cameras or something. Here, let's watch it.
All right, depending when this comes out, or if it does, we are currently
trying not to laugh.
Being told by Cuban intelligence.
Sorry. Even the Denims haters can't help but insult Nick Shirley. So, an OnlyFans whore mocking mentally disabled people in 2026. Why'd you call him mentally disabled? I didn't even say that.
Here in Havana, Cuba. I came here. I've been wanting to make a video for so long about life in communism and showing people what communism is like.
By the way, he's also violating U.S. law by staying in a hotel not approved by the U.S. government.
In a place like Cuba, for instance. Came here to make this video, and when people think about communism, they typically just think about how communism is supposed to make everything equal, whether it be the amount of money someone makes or how food's distributed and how the markets are then controlled by the government. However, something that people do not think about, including myself.
I was like, can't believe you're laughing at a poor FAS baby. Listen, we have no way of knowing if that's true or not, okay? Also, it's disrespectful to FAS babies.
Is how in communism, they do not have freedom of speech. They don't have freedom of press. And therefore, they want to make sure everything that is posted or out in the world about their country is filtered or censored. So here in Cuba, as soon as I arrived into Cuba, I did everything that you need to do to come into Cuba as far as the documentations that it takes to come into Cuba. Right now, there's a big problem taking place here in Cuba, the largest humanitarian crisis they've had in maybe 50 years. And there's no...
Denims, is bro drunk? Why are there so many mouth noises, bro? This is just like how he talks, man. I don't know. I don't know why he talks like that. Well, I think he's just like really dumb. He's just one of the children that were left behind.
Oil or gas due to the blockade after...
He really does speak like a 6-year-old. I don't want to tell all you that in Cuba they think communism is good. Like, oh my...
Trump and the United States took over and captured Maduro. So Venezuela is no longer supporting Cuba with any oil or gas. And that also affects everything that they have, essentially, between whether it be the food or from it being the life.
Denims, this is unironically the next evolution of MAGA influencers. It started with Ben Shapiro and it's been getting dumber and dumber. Well, I think that like on the right, there's always been pseudo-intellectualism in like the forefront. And I think we've just like given up on pretending to be intellectuals, or they like, I think the right has just given up on pretending to be intellectuals. And now they just kind of like point at something and say, isn't this bad because I say so? It's like, okay. Were you going to add anything there, or were you just going to... That was it? That was the full argument? Oh, okay. Got it.
Right. And the power shortages here, or just the gas alone. Here in Cuba, you hardly see any cars driving around because nobody can afford gas. For 1 liter of gas, it's...
I wonder why they can't afford gas. Surely it has nothing to do with the blockade.
$10. Okay, so where am I getting... What am I getting from here? So I go out at the airport. They seize all of my cameras. They seize both my GoPros, my Meta glasses. These are not my Meta glasses. All my microphones. However, the only thing they don't take is my iPhone camera. That's what I'm filming this on right now. They don't take my iPhone camera, and somehow they didn't get this microphone that was in the very, very bottom of my backpack. So we get out and we go start to make the video.
I did see one post that said that fundamentally Nick Shirley is an agent of the U.S. government and the U.S. government propaganda machine. And it actually is. It is in Cuba's best interest to actually take all of his shit. Like we wouldn't allow it in the US. Can you imagine like a Russian agent coming to the US with a bunch of cameras? If the US Customs or like TSA took away all of that guy's cameras or whatever, or like a Chinese agent came with a bunch of like cameras to record the shit show that is the United States, and we took away all their stuff and they reported on this, they'd be like, well, that guy's an instigator. He should have all of his stuff taken away. Like MAGA chuds would literally defend that immediately. Hello?
Video asking Cubans about life in communism, showing what's going on with the blockade, showing kind of the downfall of Cuba. One sec, I'm working on getting this out.
Why is this video so long? It's just 12 minutes of him forgetting the word Cuba.
Right now, we're currently planning our escape route out of Cuba right now, so had to
Escape route like they were kidnapped and didn't choose to go there.
Respond to take a message to get out of here somehow. So we go out into the streets and we start filming this video. We're showing people what life is like in Cuba right now, how there's hardly any cars out in the streets. The buildings are like crumbling essentially. All the university is
the best part about this shit is like you can literally just like go to Detroit and this looks like half of Detroit. Like honestly, not even just Detroit at this point, just like go to most major cities in the United States and there are areas that just look like this. And we're the richest country in the world. We don't even have an excuse for our cities looking like this, by the way. Like go in a lot of places in the Midwest and this is just like what it looks like. And we have no excuse. We're not dealing with an embargo. Like what?
Destroyed the University of Cuba. There's hardly any food out for the people and just the mass poverty that's taking place and asking people about things such as communism, what life is like in Cuba. Well, when we're doing one interview near a hospital where there's a huge line outside the hospital, because here the hospitals aren't even working essentially. The lines are taking forever, and with their hospital and the government controlling the hospital, that also affects the power. So right now you currently have surgeons doing operations with flashlights because there's no power inside of.
And Cuba still is the world's largest exporter of doctors. Isn't that pathetic for the United States?
The hotel in the hospitals. Right now I'm in the only hotel in Havana that has 24/7 electricity, 24/7, because this is the only one that has that access. That's what the reason why I booked this hotel was, because their website was the only one that was operating 24/7. All the other.
Why is he dripping up 24? 24 is 24.
Other ones weren't, so that's why I was able to get this hotel. And anyways, we're filming this video, and when we're next to the hospital, we see undercover cop roll up on us, and my security guards that are with me, they detected him, and then all of a sudden there's another one. So we hopped back in another taxi, we left the scene, and we thought we were good.
This guy thinks ICE agents should be able to cover their faces, by the way.
They didn't tell us, and we left. But since we left the airport, we had been getting tailed, or the word had gotten out that there was a journalist inside of Cuba. There's only 2 flights that come in here every single day. So it wasn't hard to spot out who the journalist was, and that's what my tourist visa said. That's what my visa said. It said for journalistic activities. So you can come here. There's 12 categories in which you can come, and journalist activities is one of those. So therefore, that is why I came.
The journalism in the room with us. Oh, fuck.
And right now it is currently 9:30, and we have Cuban intelligence down in the lobby of the hotel right now, working to essentially try to round us up and potentially imprison us or make it so we cannot leave Cuba. So right now we're coming with a game plan to escape Cuba.
Just said that. What? You got in. What do you mean escape plan?
Our original flight is to leave on Saturday. Right now it's Thursday, so we're going to be leaving tomorrow morning if we can make it to the airport. We're about 1.5 miles away from the U.S. Embassy right now, which could be our possible way out of this situation by going to the embassy. However, that does not stop Cubans from stopping us before we get to the embassy. It's about 1.5 miles away, so we have to make it to the embassy. And right now there's 3 essentially Cuban spies down at the bottom of our hotel right now.
Cuban spies! Cuban spies!
And we have to figure out how we're going to escape. We're trying to get a hold of the embassy right now and see if
we have to figure out how we escape from the Cuban spies. We have to figure wow.
Stay there overnight and then buy our
Man, this new COD mission kind of sucks. Man, COD's really falling off lately, huh?
Plane ticket last minute so that doesn't pull off any red flags to the Cuban government before we arrive to the airport. This is not a joke. When we talk about communism and we talk about the effects of communism, something that you often don't look at is the freedom of speech or the freedom of press, to just simply be able to give your opinion out in the public and have it be
take your time,
then posted by a journalist. That's all I was doing today, was asking people
take your time. Again, I'm sorry. Let me just say really quickly, if this was happening in the US, we would be talking about fucking deporting them or like executing them or having a fucking public execution and parade for them. In response to Mahmoud Khalil, someone who was here legally, who was legally here. He had every legal right to be here, and his crime was organizing a protest. A peaceful protest against, you guessed it, genocide. Every fucking chud in this stupid shithole country was like, we have to get rid of it. You want to come here from other countries and ruin this one. We don't need more instigators. But when an actual instigator goes to another country, they're supposed to just let you do whatever you want. Oh, okay. All right.
About the current situation, asked a few people about communism, and that's when it really got bad. It was when this evening I left the hotel around 5 before sunset to go out, and the idea was we were going to go walk the streets of Cuba at night and show all the power shortage and how the lights get cut out and people don't have electricity at night. So we had planned to walk around the streets after the sun went down, and so I was conducting some interviews before the sun went down, and I asked a man about communism, and that's when we realized that the Cuban intelligence was at the hotel, because as soon as we walked out and I interviewed this man, we had a lady come up when I started talking about communism, and she started recording on the back. And we confronted her and said, hey, what are you doing? And she's like, oh, I'm not taking a photo.
You know the saddest thing about his speech? His speech is so bad that it's actually sometimes difficult to understand what he's trying to tell you. And then the other way comes, and she was recording on the back, and that's when I don't like, you're speaking so in the most stupid manner. I can't even I like literally full sentences are missing. I can't understand. What does it mean that she was started recording on the back? That sentence doesn't mean anything. It's incoherent. Like I can't.
She said she's on a phone call, but her phone was open to the photo. And so
her phone was open to the photo.
One of my security guards stayed with me. The other went and followed her from behind, and he tracked her down.
Did she have a photo of him on her phone? Did she have her camera out? Did she have a photo? Okay, first let's just break it down. Did she have a photo of something on her phone that you could see, or did she have her camera out? I don't know, because your sentence made no sense. I don't know. Second, it's you are a spy if you've ever taken out your phone to take a photo of or record someone who's clearly recording something outside of, like, I don't know, a street you frequent. No one's ever done this. So why is he allowed to film random people, but she's not allowed to take a photo of him doing that? I feel like this is very normal. Like, she literally, if this is the woman in question, She just looks like a normal ass
I had
woman.
planned to walk around the streets after the sun went down, and so I was conducting some interviews before the sun went down, and I asked a man about communism, and that's when we realized that the Cuban intelligence was at the hotel, because as soon as we walked out and I interviewed this man, we had a lady come up when I started talking about communism, and she started recording on the back. And we confronted her and said, "Hey, what are you doing?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm not taking a photo." She said she's on a phone call, but her phone was open to the photo. And so one of my
On the back, and her phone was open to the photo.
security guards stayed with me. The other went and followed her from behind, and he tracked her down, and she ended up noticing him as well, and she went to a Cuban, another Cuban intelligence
How do you know that she went to another Cuban intelligence?
spy, and then they
Intelligence spy.
came to the hotel lobby. And before that, when we were eating lunch today, after we had gotten to the after we had gone through customs at the airport, after they had seized all my stuff, my GoPros and my meta glasses and all my microphones.
How is this guy ESL without ever having a first language? I would love to know the answer to that, man.
Another man was at the hotel, and he was all by himself. And then this evening, he was with the two Cuban spies in the lobby. So right now, we are trying to plan our escape route. We have a few options. The main one is to leave here and then go play taxi tag, as far as hopping in another taxi to make sure we aren't getting trailed by them, and then make our
Denims, I speak 4 languages. How is his only language so bad? Well, the thing is, when you speak to people who speak more than one language, especially speak more than one language fluently, it translates to English. Your ability to structure sentences and your ability to generate narratives or like create a story, like your storytelling abilities and skills are still there. It's just word recall isn't as good when you're on like the second or third or fourth language. So you'll the structure is all there. You'll be like, yeah, I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to have this, and then we went here. And then you might blank on like, oh, what's the word for like taxi or something? I don't feel like taxi actually is probably easy to remember. But you guys get what I mean. There's nothing happening. It's like, we went to the hotel, and there in the she went in the back, and she said she was not a spy, but the phone had the photo. So we're getting lunch, and then we're playing the taxi tag. So this one I know. We go in the one taxi, and then we go in the next taxi, and then we get in the next taxi. And it's like, oh my god, Jesus Christ!
our way to the embassy, and then from the embassy, buy our flight around 7 a.m., make it to the airport at 8 a.m., hop on our flight 8:30, and then be out of Cuba. The other options are...
Why make fun of a guy who has a hard time communicating? For the same reason that people make fun of, if you're asking that question, this analogy will be too difficult for you. Let me try and get one that's easier. The same reason that people make fun of Trump for being orange. The same reason that people make fun of Tim Pool for his beanie. There are all these valid criticisms, but once in a while it's fun to make fun of someone for things that aren't valid, but are still funny, because they use their platform to promote harm. This guy has single-handedly destroyed Americans' ideas of Somalis. Why? Because he is certain that there's a massive fraud ring that has never before been seen anywhere ever, except, if you just ignore all of the fraudsters that Trump is constantly pardoning every single day, because only the immigrants commit crime. Took credit for Minneapolis's 2 murders, more than 2, by the way, but there are the 2 that everybody knows about. Yeah, and then he has the audacity to call himself a journalist. Meanwhile, he can't string together a fucking sentence.
We stay here in our hotel and hope they don't come and round us up in the middle of the night. The only problem is tomorrow is May 1st, and that is essentially their 4th of July here. We're just outside of the hotel we're staying at right now. They are going to have a huge march for communism, for the current president. and that's their July 4th parade, essentially. That is going to be taking place right outside our hotel. Had no idea that was happening beforehand, and until we got to the hotel and they said that happens every single year. It's their biggest march.
Did you just say their 4th of July?
They do each and every single year, and it is for communism. You cannot speak out against communism when you live inside a communist country. Last time that happened in 2021 here in Cuba, lots of people were arrested, and it was not good. And the other times that happened were, I believe, like the 1960s. So
I didn't know May Day was Global Communism Day. Did you guys know about this?
communism does not allow the truth to be told. In fact, it just censors what people can do. And
So just a quick question. Explain Don Lemon. Good question. Explain Jimmy Kimmel. Just a quick question. Can you explain why it's illegal to boycott Israeli products in like how many states? Because that doesn't happen under capitalism, right?
right now, they are literally trying to kidnap and detain me and my 2 security guards that are here with me right now from leaving Cuba. And we're trying to do everything we can to somehow do something with this footage. And so if this video does make it out into the world,
Remembering the word for the world.
I have either been kidnapped or I am safe. If it's after May 1st, I am not kidnapped. But if the video is
Take your time.
all right, I'm not gonna get kidnapped, so I'm not gonna say that.
Wait, I'm sorry. I have to watch it.
I have either been kidnapped or I am safe. If it's after May 1st, I am not kidnapped. But if the video is all right, I'm not gonna get kidnapped, so I'm not gonna say that.
Bro is trying. He's like just using every iota, every neuron is firing. All one of them. He's like, oh come on, you got it. Come on. If the video comes out, you're not kidnapped. If the video does not come out, you are not. You were kid. Aw, double negatives are so hard. I'm just not gonna say. I'm not gonna say that because I'm not gonna get kidnapped.
So I'm going to post this video though to show you guys the risk that we're in right now, and we are going to make it out of Cuba. If there's a will, there's a way. But this is
It's kind of giving straight of Hormuzzi. We have to go in. We have to free the people from the regime. We have to get the nuclear weapons and all of the nuclear enriched materials. We have to go in. We have to get the oil. We have to secure the peace in the Middle East. We have to do this. Starts war. What are we doing? We need to stop this war immediately. Forget everything else. All we need to do is escape Hormuzzi. We need that straight open. Let's make this straight open. It's like the thing that you caused. The thing that you caused, man. You went to Cuba and you're like, we're doing everything we can to escape. We're going to escape Cuba. We're going to escape Cuba. We're gonna do that. It's like, to be fair though, I kind of feel it actually. I changed my mind because I'll queue up for a game I hate and then say, get me out of this game when I'm winning or I'm losing. So maybe it is a valid strategy. Because what do you mean I'll like queue for a HOTS game that's actually dog shit? And I'm like, get me out of the game. Like I did just queue for that. Actually, wait a minute. So maybe there's a method to this madness. Hold up. When you're 20-0, but bot lane is 0-30. It's okay. This is why you play bot lane support and you steal all the kills. Because even if nobody else is having fun, you are. Guys, I'm gonna reinstall League.
This is currently what
Don't do
we're
it now.
planning right now and going through, because we legit have Cuban spies at the bottom of our hotel room. We're on the 8th floor right now. They're in the lobby right now, security guard just went down to see what was going on, and they're all down there in the lobby. There's a few singers down at the restaurant right now, so we're thinking to go down, blend in, and then sneak our way out for the night and make our way to the embassy. This is probably the most dangerous situation I've ever been into. This is probably the most dangerous situation I've ever been in, especially when you have no power here, essentially because the United States and Cuba, they do not like each other. There's been an embargo since the 1960s here, where the United States has not allowed other businesses to do work with Cuba, and it's also right now you have Trump even saying that he might have the pleasure of taking Cuba. And Marco Rubio, obviously, he has
Marco Cuba
even said openly that he doesn't think a regime change would be bad, which it wouldn't. Look what's happening right now because of
I'm surprised they didn't call him Marco Polo.
communism. They literally have spies downstairs right now trying to round us up before we're able to publish these videos.
Yeah, blend in as a white guy in a hotel you're not allowed to be in. Genius! Yeah, I'm just casually blending in as a white guy with my bodyguards in a hotel I'm not supposed to be in. Don't worry. And now it's time to sneak away. It's like...
So, if I make it out, this video gets seen. If it doesn't, I'm most likely in a prison cell, which I really hope is not the case. Third option is we somehow get a...
If this video... How would we know if the video didn't make it out? Like...
We somehow get to the embassy and we get a private jet and we make our way out. Other option is to steal a boat and take it all the way to the Coast Guard and then surrender to the U.S. Coast Guard to make our way into the United States. So those are pretty much our options right now. We have somebody outside, even on the street, in a blacked out vehicle, eyeing us from our hotel room. And now we are trying to figure out what to do. Anyways, that is the current situation. I'm currently potentially about to be kidnapped here in Cuba. I hope that is not the case, but I think you guys should know exactly what is happening and the risk we are taking here in Cuba to try and show people the truth about the realities of communism and what's happening here in Cuba. All right, we'll see what happens. They're asking why are we trying to leave the hotel early.
That was probably one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. That was amazing. I was almost taken hostage in Cuba. I went to Cuba to document the humanitarian crisis. Kind of an L, I'm not gonna lie. Kind of low key an L, like you're kind of stealing somebody else's somebody else's flow, bar for bar, verse for verse. You're not Hassan, man. Come on. And show life under 60 years of communism now amid the US blockade. Once I landed, they seized all my cameras except my iPhone and had intelligence agents following me all day until my security noticed their spies tailing us to the hotel, where they waited all night for us to come down. Under communism, there is no free speech, and those who show the reality or speak up are imprisoned. Me going without a planned Cuban government guide nearly got me and my security taken hostage or imprisoned. Why would they kidnap an illiterate white man? There's zero chance they would get hostage money. Like, clearly, his mom did not love him. Like, I don't know what to tell you. If she loved him, he wouldn't be speaking like this. I'm sorry, man. Like, your parents did not give a shit about you if you speak like this. They did not. They do not. They did not. They're letting you make a total fool of yourself, look completely illiterate in front of a massive audience. And for what? But this shit is funny. I showed all of that. You guys had to watch all of that just so I can show you guys this. Cuba fumbled the opportunity to do the funniest thing ever. And then Nick Shirley liked this tweet. Praying Cuba makes his dumbass literate while he's there so he understands what I meant. No. Stop. You can't say that. That's illegal. They're making that type of free speech illegal in the United States. I heard his mom is a huge MAGA fan and her boyfriend is connected to the higher-ups of the movement. He's a tool and an op. I wonder why, I truly wonder why Cuba would ever want to take your cameras and your audio recording away. Surely the United States and Americans and Chuds would never defend doing that to an immigrant, right? Yeah, about that. Yeah, about that.